Hey everyone, just want to make a quick video today, something I've been thinking about, and that's the basic cover up that science has perpetrated on uh, the human race. I mean, in my opinion, science is the religion for people who aren't religious. I know people say, oh, science isn't religion. Yeah, it's a lot more like a religion than a lot of people realize. There are certain foundational theories at the heart of science. And if anyone ever brings any evidence that would falsify these theories, then there's a certain set of patterns that science goes through in order to deal with that. The first thing it does is, of course, it's going to try to ignore the new information, whatever that is. Um, it could be proof of telekinesis, the studies that's been done. It could be uh, showing that the human race is far older than what evolution shows it to be or predicts it to be. It could be anything. It could be the historical timeline, whatever. When the scientific foundations are challenged, they try to ignore it. And then when they can't ignore it, then they try to malign the people who did the study, that brought the information. Now, this could be from saying that, this guy who saw Bigfoot is just seeing a bear or, a reflection of light and just misunderstood what he's seen, despite the fact that thousands and thousands of people have seen it and people who have spent their whole life in the woods and experts, forest rangers, people who know what the hell they're looking at. It doesn't matter. They malign these people and say, well, they just hallucinated. They just thought they saw it. So they ignore it. And that's UFO witnesses, it's people who do telekinesis or study anything. The first step is to malign the people bringing the evidence. Then, if they're forced to admit, okay, these people aren't just maligned, you can't malign, you can't discredit the source. So now we're going to go in and debunk it. We're going to go in, not go in and look at it and see if there's, any substance to it to look at it objectively. No, no, no. They go in with the express purpose of debunking it. And then if they fail to debunk it, the next thing that they do is simply ignore it. That's like the telekinesis studies. Can't debunk them, can't really malign the source, so then they're just going to ignore it and not peer review it. All right? I don't know why people put so much faith in a bunch of old white men sitting in academia around rosewood furniture or whatever they have in their offices with the books all behind them, going, "Oh, that's not going to be allowed into our reality. That doesn't fit with what I was raised to believe." That's the scientific academia. That's who decides who you know does what. If you force a study, if you do a study and you come out and you become a spokesperson for, hey, science, look at this. This is real. You get fired. You lose your funding. You don't work in science anymore. You become a weirdo, someone who's completely discredited. There's not very many people to spend all that money on education willing to discredit themselves to stick up for something that is controversial. It's very rare. I'll give you a great example of this. The Gurdon lights in Arkansas, Gurdon, Arkansas. Since the 1930s, when a murder took place at this particular place on a railroad track, almost every night you can see a orb of light floating over that section of track. It's uh, it's not hard to see. People say they go see it all the time. Now, we are burning fossil fuels, producing carbon, destroying our environment. There's an unknown ball of energy, an unknown energy source that is repeatedly observable on that railroad track. You know who's actually observing that? Usually chipmunks and stuff. because science is scared of it. They've sent some people, there've been some scientists that examine it, trying to debunk it, and they have failed to debunk it. So what have they done when they fail to debunk? They ignore. Now, in a sane world, if there was a ball of unexplained energy manifesting repeatedly in this one area, you would have the military surrounding it. You'd have scientists from all over the world studying this energy source to try to figure out if it's viable and is usable by the human race, try to understand it. Do you know why they don't? Do you know what makes them so scared of it? Because when the scientists get close to it, it may respond to thought. What if you think, hey, light float up and it floats up? Oh God, that shatters, the materialistic theory then that we're all just cells, because it's reading thought. Your mind's reaching outside your brain case to communicate with an energy that's obviously conscious. Or what if you get close to that ball of light and you can hear voices? That means there's consciousness in the ball, a vortex of communication that would just destroy the materialistic view again. So they ignore it. It's just out there with the chipmunks. Science refuses to look at it. So let me ask you this. I'm going to go back to what I said to begin with. This is a long video, I'm sorry. Science is a religion. It's probably worse than standard religions, because the scientific method is great and wonderful. They're not adhering to it. If you have a theory, if you're a scientist and you have a theory, no matter how foundational the theory is and important, if you find evidence that falsifies that theory and you choose to ignore the evidence and hold on to your theory with both hands and shut your eyes, that becomes a belief. It's no longer a theory, it's a belief, and you are practicing faith. And what makes it worse than Christianity and Islam and all that as far as religion is that these people are believing in gods and stuff with nothing to prove it. Scientists hold on to theories, seeing direct evidence that it's not true. So despite evidence to the contrary, they're going to hold on to their theories for whatever reason. And it's not every scientist. Not every scientist is aware of this evidence. A lot of them are, and when they do, they turn their back on it. It's worse than religion. Do not put your faith in science when it comes to deeper matters. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust yourself. Trust your own gnosis. Anyway, that's enough for today, guys. I appreciate you coming. If you stuck to the end, I appreciate you so much. Please like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. My channel, I put 5-6 videos up. I get 1 subscriber. I don't know. Share it. I'm about to get some magnetic signs for my car. Try to get some local subscribers. I don't know if I'll ever get 1,000. Oh my God. But anyway, thank you for coming out. Catch you next time.